place was empty, but that night, it breathed. Alright, so listen. This is the one they tried to kill me with. Sit up, turn your data pad down, and don't laugh until the end. They tossed me into a pit like I was trash. No fanfare, no trial, just a transport beam, a flash, and then Varnox 3's green haze and teeth. One girl, 19 years old, wearing the clothes on her back, and a council full of rich idiots watching through glass like it's a sport. I can hear them. I could practically hear them betting on my minutes. Man, you ever feel that? Like a room full of eyes counting your heartbeat. Chancellor Vexar, this crystalline dude with a face that looked like a broken trophy, he sneered. Let the primitive learn her place. That was the line. Classy. They called it exile, rehabilitation, official sounding crap. Unofficially, it was their favorite little purge. Varnox was this old bio test bed, apex predators engineered to be purer than pure killers. The record, 53 minutes. 53! The last one was torn apart so bad they found shell bits 3 kilometers away. People make a living off betting on that planet. Me, I had no exoskeleton, no gene surgeon implants, no weapons. Just a stubborn streak and a grandma who taught me 2 things: how to find water in a dust bowl and how to stare down a bear. That's it. That's my resume. The first roar hit from my left, this deep vibrato thing that was supposed to slice courage right out of you. On the council screens, some of them leaned forward like kids at a circus. They wanted the show. I tilted my head. I remember thinking, multi-chambered vocal cords, pack hunters. They use sound to herd prey. Basic ecosense. I whispered, okay, probable pack. Don't go solo into a funnel. I didn't say it out loud, who'd hear me? But I said it to myself and moved. You feel that? Something the size of a small building crashed down where my feet had been. 6 legs, plated armor, teeth like, no joke, industrial cutters. It turned, ready for the tremor of a human scream. Instead, I smiled. Not crazy. Recognition. I said big kitty. Because what else do you call a 6-legged nightmare? Like the mountain lions back home. It lunged. Everyone expects prey to run, so I didn't run. I ran at it, straight at it. Slide under its belly the second it committed. Physics, baby. Predators are built to kill motion, not motion that confuses their intent. I grabbed a jagged bit of branch as it staggered. 3 seconds. 3 glorious, stupid seconds. 3 seconds to find a gap at the joint of its armor. 3 seconds! My grandma's voice echoed, don't be stronger than them, be smarter. That's how you pay your taxes in a death world. Smartness. By nightfall, I'd found water, following hanging aerial routes like a kid following Christmas lights, found a cave that wouldn't swallow me, and a trick to make fire. Oil-rich bark plus friction. On the screens, the council went quiet. She's just delaying, Vexar said. Tomorrow, she dies. He sounded so sure. Like tomorrow was a subscription plan. Tomorrow came. I didn't die. Day 3, I started watching the hunters. I named them in my head hexes because 6 legs. Get it? They weren't mindless. They tested each other. Little games. Dominance displays. More like a fraternity than a killing machine. They'd nudge a rival and pull back. Not kill. Weird social dynamics. I watched them circle each other and thought, you're not monsters. You're bored predators with nowhere to prove yourself. So I tried something insane. I walked to one. Not stealthy, not creeping. Walked right up and kept eye contact. Prey does not do that. Prey bolts. I put my hand out with a chunk of meat from a smaller predator I'd trapped, an offering and a challenge. The hex sniffed me with 6 ocular things and froze. Confusion. That's a weakness you can work with. Then the unthinkable. It didn't attack. It accepted the meat like I was some weird member of the tribe. The geneticists who made them didn't program curiosity towards other species. That wasn't in their spec. I started drenching myself in mud and plant dyes, copying their color patterns, little mimicry camouflage, learn their ear flicks, the tail twitch that meant play, the rumble that was basically a chuckle. I watched, I imitated, I learned the language of motion. By day 7, I was not hiding, I was participating. I taught them basic human tricks: point, pull, trap. They taught me how to dig faster with my hands. We made a system. It felt ridiculous, but it worked. By 2 weeks, I was out hunting with them, not controlling, contributing. I'd direct 3 hexes to pressure a flying predator and then ambush from the side. Communication, not brute force. The council and their glass boxes started whispering. "She's not taming them," one of their so-called xenobiologists said. "She's joining them." 2 weeks turned to 4. Then a research shuttle showed up to pick up scrap, expecting a corpse. Instead, their sensors saw a human wearing Varnox hide and a ring of apex predators sitting around her like overprotective dogs. 10 of them. Not lunging, the whole lot froze into defensive formation when the shuttle beeped in. Lead scientist whispers into his mic, "Impossible. No pack instinct for other species." I lifted my hand. The pack quieted, like a room hitting a mute. "You should have seen the faces on their displays. Priceless." I spoke into the comm because I'm petty like that. I said, "You threw me here to die." My hand rested on the pack leader, Onyx. Massive black plates, sensory clusters that made a 1,000-star map look amateur. "You thought this was hell?" I shrugged. Like I'd been to worse. Montana bear fights, outback weeks with no water, Aussie things you don't ask about unless you want nightmares. This is just Tuesday where I'm from. Vexar barked through the system. "Return to the shuttle. Sentence reconsidered." I laughed. Genuine, not mean, just free. I said, "Go back to your sterile chairs and your cold politics. You're terrified of the wild. These creatures don't scheme. They don't lie. They respect skill, not status." One of the council drones, Dexter, flicked up his image, all posture and smugness. "You are a prisoner. You will return immediately." I looked at him like he'd cracked a joke. I said, "I'm not your prisoner. I am Varnox Queen." The pack turned a half rumble, like a shared laugh, if a pack's rumble can be a laugh. "Try to take me then," I told them. The rumble rolled like thunder. The shuttle left empty. They didn't send another human to that planet after that. Political fallout, honestly, I don't miss their kind. Years later, lab coats and suits tried to explain it away. She engineered a bond. She tapped into their social programming. A human scientist just shrugged when asked by a camera and said, "You threw a teenager at a jungle and expected statistics. You forgot what humans do. We don't just survive hostile worlds, we make them home." That's the thing. People in the upper rings think survival is muscle and tech. That's cute. We survive because we pattern match, because we turn enemies into family, because we laugh in the face of a thing designed to kill us and we say, "All right, let's dance." We find water where there's none, light in the dark, rules where chaos reigns. So yeah, there I was at night, surrounded by engineered killers who'd been bred to be perfect predators. They could have ended me on a whim. Instead, they curled, literally, around me like guardians. Onyx thunked his head in my lap and rumbled like he agreed with the joke I'd made weeks ago. I looked up at the stars and knew the council was watching. Always watching. Let them count my breaths. Let them study what they can't catalog. I whispered to the distant lights, "You thought you sent me to hell. You freed me." And if you're hearing this, if somehow this transmission finds you in the dark, listen close. We didn't conquer that planet with guns or politics. We did it with the audacity to belong. We made monsters into kin. And sometimes, kin fight for you like family fights for family. Man. Keep your doors locked. Keep your lights bright.